So yesterday, we just saw this in spades. I mean, it was unbelievable. Donald Trump went down to Corpus Christi. He didn't want to go to Houston because that's where all the stuff is happening. He didn't want to divert resources that, it takes a lot of resources, obviously, to take care of the president. So he didn't do that. Went down to Corpus Christi. And he talked. Let's just take a look first. He went out and he talked to a crowd at a place where they were gathering the people who were homeless.
This has been a total cooperative effort. Again, we will see you soon. I will tell you, this is historic. It's epic what happened. But you know what? It happened in Texas, and Texas can handle anything. Thank you all, folks. Thank you.
So we remember, of course, that George W. Bush, he was at his ranch when Hurricane Katrina hit. He did not immediately go down. He flew over it because he didn't want to divert resources. He didn't want to divert resources for him. And they just remember, George W. Bush doesn't like black people, and the black people, the racist coverage was unbelievable. The black people were eating each other in the stadiums, things like that. It was just totally untrue, completely untrue. But that coverage was all blamed on George W. Bush. So Donald Trump goes down and he makes an appearance. And so what they said was they made fun of him because he said, what a great crowd. And they thought, well, it's a refugee area. So of course it's a great crowd. But he was referring to the fact that people drove up to see him. They were cheering him. There were about 1,000 people that the press didn't even turn their cameras on, and they were cheering and waving him. And he reacted to that as anybody would. And so he was cheering people up. And then he went and he talked to Greg Abbott is the governor's name, right? And he went to the emergency center and gave thanks to all the people around. And in typical Trumpian terms, he talked about the fact that they're going to do a good job and take care of everybody.
I can tell you that my folks just telling me how great your representatives have been in working together. It's a real team, and we want to do it better than ever before. We want to be looked at in 5 years and 10 years from now as this is the way to do it. This was of epic proportion. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And I just want to say that working with the governor and his entire team has been an honor for us. So, Governor, again, thank you very much. And we won't say congratulations. We don't want to do that. We don't want to congratulate. We'll congratulate each other when it's all finished. But you have been terrific, really terrific. And you've been my friend here for a long time.
He gets that just right. We're not going to congratulate each other because it's still underway. We know there are mistakes that can be made. This is obviously what has happened to Houston is now happening in Louisiana, too, as Hurricane Harvey moves along the Gulf. This is going to go on for years. This is what is happening now is going to go on for years. People are going to be homeless. Rebuilding is going to be just terribly, terribly difficult, finding housing for people and all this stuff. The government is going to be involved in this for years. This is what the government is for. This is when we can all agree that government has to do what it has to do. And the word is that so far, Trump is doing a great job. And, this is the funny thing about Donald Trump. This is what he does. This is what he likes. He wants to fix stuff. He does. This is the best thing about him is he wants to fix stuff. You ask him when they asked him about racism, he said, it's going to get better because people are going to have jobs. And their pay is going to be good because I'm going to fix that. He doesn't have a spiritual sense of the world that he has to go out and sort of lead people in their spirits. What he does is he fixes stuff. And this is a big, big, big fix-it job. And he is in his element. Tevi Troy at the Wall Street Journal writes, so far, his administration is largely getting praise for effective handling of the crisis. Washington's disaster authorities appear to be in sync with the state on roles and responsibilities, which is very big. I'm sure you've all seen crime shows on television where the state and the local cops and the feds are at odds. That really does happen. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and its leader, Brock Long, deployed resources as Harvey approached, and the government response as a whole appears well coordinated. I give FEMA a grade of A+ all the way from the president down, Texas Governor Greg Abbott told Fox News Sunday. And yes, Mr. Abbott is a fellow Republican, but he is also interested in protecting Texas and would not have said A+ if the state weren't getting what it needed. That assessment is backed up by Rear Admiral W. Craig von der Wagen, a former career emergency manager who is plugged into the Harvey effort. Early read, he told Tevi Troy in an email, is that executive branch is performing well under this president. Okay, That's all you need to know. That's all anybody has to say. You don't like Donald Trump? Too bad. He's doing a good job. The people are in trouble. The president is there. This is a montage of the talking point between MSNBC and CNN, the talking point all day yesterday as they covered this. And it is, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Empathy's never been a strong suit in the first place.
He didn't hug a mom or hold a baby or shake someone's hand or ask a senior how they were doing. It was really remarkable. He acted like this was a big field trip, and it was the biggest and the best response, and we're going to congratulate each other later. It was typical Donald Trump without an ounce of empathy.
But has he ever been exposed to a situation?
And Jim, those words there show that the president is still very much learning on the job in terms of empathy, learning on the job in terms of how to react and relate to the individuals here who are,
the human element seemed to be absent outside of the self-congratulatory gestures of the conference. Of the press conference. It seems to me it's just concerned about optics, and I wish they would be concerned about people.
They were saying that it's going to be key to see the way he has real feelings and real empathy. How does he respond in this first big situation like this? What will you be looking for?
There's the empathy factor. There's the response. There is making people feel like he's engaged and he's going to be a leader throughout.
That's what President Trump is trying to convey today in his visit, and appropriately so. He is going to have to show some real feeling, some real empathy to the people in Texas that have been hit in this devastating manner.
In that way, it remains to be seen what the empathy factor is going to be here.
So basically what they're saying is he doesn't pretend to care the way we pretend. We really pretend well. We pretend to care. All he's doing is helping people, encouraging them, making sure the money gets there, making sure all the services get there. That's not pretending to care the way we pretend. We put on these sad, serious faces. We're really good at this. He's not so good. It is absolutely disgraceful. And just before we break, I have to just point out that one guy on CNN with the glasses, that's Jeff Salaney, who used to be the White House correspondent of the New York Times and used the opportunity to first question the new President Barack Obama to ask this classic question.
Thank you, Mr. President. During these first 100 days, what has surprised you the most about this office, enchanted you the most about serving in this office, humbled you the most, and troubled you the most?
Let me write this down.
What a worm. I'm sorry. The guy's a worm. It's like it's all just hatred being generated by them.